Hello, I welcome to UPSC Prelims Chaturya series of SHANTHA LAKSHMI IAS Academy, where we will discuss the daily prelims MCQs from the Hindu, Indian Express and PIB. Let's begin. The first question. Consider the following statements with respect to the Human Development Index 2023-2024. The 2023-24 Human Development Report titled Breaking the Gridlock, Re-Imaging Cooperation in Polarized World. The report has been released by the United Nations Environment Programme. India ranks 134 out of 193 countries on the Global Human Development Index. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none of the above. This was in news recently. According to the 2023-2024 Human Development Report titled Breaking the Gridlock, Re-Imaging Cooperation in a Polarized World, India ranks 134 on the Global Human Development Index. Switzerland has been ranked number 1. The report has been released by the United Nations Development Programme. About this report, human development reports have been released since 1990 and have explored different themes through the human development approach. The reports are produced by the Human Development Report Office for the United Nations Development Programme. Human Development Index. The HDI is a composite index that measures average achievements in human development, taking into account three indicators: life expectancy at birth, expected years of schooling, mean years of schooling, gross national income. Key highlights of this report: top 3 countries were Switzerland, Norway, and Iceland. Bottom 3 countries were Somalia, South Sudan, and Central African Republic. HDA score: India attained an HDA score of 0.644 in 2022, positioning it at 134 out of 193 countries in the United Nations 2023-2024 report. So the answer is 22 because the report has been released by the UNDP, not UNEP. Moving to the next question. With reference to the West Nile fever, consider the following statements. It is named after the West Nile district of Uganda, where it was first identified in 1937. West Nile virus mainly infects birds. Which of the statement given above are not correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one or two. Kerala's health department recently reported West Nile fever cases in 3 districts. About this, it is a disease caused by the West Nile virus. WNV is a member of the flavivirus genus and belongs to the Japanese Encephalitis antigenic complex of the family Flaviviridae. Birds are the natural host of WNV. The virus is commonly found in Africa, Europe, Middle East, North America, and West Asia. It can cause a deadly neurological disease in humans. It is named after the West Nile district of Uganda, where it was first identified in 1937. The transmission, it is most commonly spread to people by a bite of an infected mosquito. The mosquitoes get the virus when they bite an infected bird. There is no evidence that WNV can be spread directly from one person to another, but there have been a few cases where it has spread through organ transplants. Symptoms: most people infected by the virus are asymptomatic, that is nothing but no symptoms. Symptoms include fever, headache, tiredness, body ache, nausea, vomiting, occasional skin rashes, and swollen lymph glands. And the symptoms of severe diseases and disorientation, coma, tremors, convulsions, and muscle weakness and paralysis. Treatment: there is no medicine or vaccine available against the WNV. Treatment is based on supportive care involving hospitalization, intravenous fluids, respiratory support, and prevention of secondary infections. So the answer is neither one nor two. Moving to the next question. Consider the following statements regarding the Central Drug Standard Control Organization. It is the national regulatory authority of India for the medical devices industries under the provisions of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act 1940. The Central Drug Standard Control Organization is under the Department of Communication and Information Technology. It is responsible for overseeing the import, manufacture, sale, distribution of medical devices in the country. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none of the above. The Central Drug Standard Control Organization has become the sole authority for issuing manufacturing licenses for new drugs meant for exports, withdrawing the power from state governments amid heightened global scrutiny of Indian-made drugs. About this organization, it is the National Regulatory Authority of India for the medical devices industries under the provisions of the Drugs and Cosmetics Act of 1940. It is responsible for overseeing the import, manufacture, sale, and distribution of medical devices in the country. The CDSCO ensures that medical devices comply with the safety, quality, and efficacy standards. It works under the Directorate General of Health Services, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India. The Drugs Control General of India, the head is the head of the CDSCO, headquarters New Delhi. Under the Drug and Cosmetics Act, CDSCO is responsible for approval of new drugs, conduct of clinical trials, laying down the standards for drugs, control over the quality of imported drugs in the country, coordination of the activities of the State Drugs Control Organization. The CDSCO conducts inspections and audits to ensure that medical devices companies are complying with the regulations related to safety, quality, and efficacy. So the answer is only 2. Because the CDSCO is under the Department of Director General of Health Services and Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, not Communication and Information Technology. Moving to the next question. Choose correct one with respect to the Pyrenees Mountains. The Pyrenees are a chain of mountains in southwestern Europe that form a natural border between Norway and Sweden. It is a fold mountain chain created by the continental collision of the microcontinent of Iberia with the massive Eurasian plate. Which of the statement given above is correct? One only, two only, both one and two, neither one nor two. The French president recently hosted Chinese President Xi Jinping at the Tourmalet Pass in the Pyrenees for private meetings. About these mountains, the Pyrenees are a chain of mountains southwestern Europe that form a natural border between Spain and France. It is fold mountain chain created by the continental collision of the microcontinent of Iberia with the massive Eurasian plate. They are quite old mountain in comparison to the Alps. It extended for about 500 km from the coast of Mediterranean Sea in the east to the Bay of Biscay in the west. At the eastern end, it is 6 miles wide and 80 miles wide at the center. Politically, it is divided into Spanish and French Pyrenees. The tiny country of Andorra is found sandwiched between them. In the eastern part of the Pyrenees mountain, it separates the rest of continental Europe from the Iberian Peninsula. The western end of the Pyrenees mountains merges with the Cantabrian mountains located in the northern part of the Iberian Peninsula. Located in Spain, Aneto Peak is the highest mountain peak in the Pyrenees mountains. So the answer is 2 only, because the Pyrenees are a chain of mountains in southwestern Europe that form a natural border between Spain and France, not Norway and Sweden. Moving to the next question. Consider the following statements about CRISPR-Cas9. CRISPR-Cas9 is one of the techniques of genome editing. CRISPR are short DNA sequences found in the genome of prokaryotic. It has many applications in agriculture, genetic research, medical treatment, and therapeutic cloning. How many of the statements given above are correct? Only one, only two, all three, none of the above. Recently, researchers have used CRISPR-Cas9 tool to restore vision in a group of adults and children with a congenital blindness. CRISPR-Cas9 edits genes by precisely cutting DNA and then harnessing natural DNA repair process to modify the gene in desired manner. The system has two components, the Cas9 enzyme and the guide RNA, rapidly translating a revolutionary technology with the goal of developing transformative therapies. CRISPR are short DNA sequences found in the genome of prokaryotic organisms such as a bacteria, which are reminders of previous bacteriophage attacks that the bacteria successfully defended against. Scientists can use the DNA repair machinery to introduce changes to one or more genes in the genome of a cell of interest. It has many applications in agriculture, genetic research, medical treatment, and therapeutic cloning. In therapeutic cloning, embryonic cells are cloned through CRISPR-Cas9 technique to obtain biological organs for transplantation. So the answer is all three. Thank you. This is the today's session.